to Drinks and Dunks. I'm your host, Ben Marquardt, and today is today. It's the moment that a lot of you guys have been waiting for. Me, not so much. I'm going to be honest, I'm not very thrilled, but today is the shotgun day. The second half of the season starts today, so we're going to get right into it. The beer I will be shotgunning is not actually Red Dog. Upset here. I know I got a couple Red Dog comments and I was going to do Red Dog. However, you guys aren't going to get me to buy 30 Red Dogs. And I couldn't find it in less than that. So, as much as that's the worst beer I've ever had, and that was the one I was going to go with, I'm not buying 30 Red Dogs. I don't care. We're going with Ice House. I've heard this is just as bad. Brewed out of Milwaukee, 5.5%. And because I'm not doing Red Dog and it was requested, I'm going to do a 16 ounce. So, not looking forward to that. But let's get into the Ice House. Taste it first here, see where we're at. Yeah, I'm going to be frank, this is not a good beer. And it's exactly what I was expecting. It's $2 for a 4-pack of 16 ounces, 16 ounces. So, yeah, it's definitely not a good beer. It's brewed out of Milwaukee, which not that great. But first taste, it's not a good one. It does not taste very good. It doesn't really even taste like beer, if I'm being honest. So if I'm gonna give it a rating, I'm gonna give it a 2.4 because it's been a few years since I've had a Red Dog, and so I don't really remember too much about it. I know that I really did not like it, and it was the worst beer I've had, but I don't remember too much about its taste, and this might take the cake. So we'll get a Red Dog eventually. I'll try and find one that's not in a 30 rack, but this takes the cake so far as the worst beer that I've had in quite a long time. So going with the 2.4. If I had to make an NBA comparison, I think the two names that immediately come to mind are Kendrick Perkins and a Ryan Hollins. And not just because it matches their career scoring average, but because they were not only terrible on the court, but they're equally as terrible as announcers. So those are the two guys I'm going with, Perk and Ryan Hollins. So that's the beer we're going to be shotgunning today. Let's go over the last week's picks, round out the first half. I had the Pelicans minus 5.5 versus the Bulls. They ended up losing by 4, which ended their streaky first half. I mean, a really up and down season. Their roster was put together pretty confusingly, if I may add. So it ends a disappointing first half of the season for them. In the second game, I had Kings minus 3.5 versus the Lakers. They did win. They won by 3, though. So that kind of summed up the first half of the season for me, sports betting wise, in games where we missed some close ones, and there were some weird endings and weird players missing games here and there. So I took the L on that one too by 0.5 point, which is just perfect. So we ended up at 10-17-1. A really disappointing first half betting on NBA games, but we're going to rebound in the second half. We're going to be above 500. We're going to avoid the shotgun in the second half, and maybe I'll cook up a brat or something, celebrate that way, being above 500. Tonight's picks, we're going to start on a good note. We got the Wizards plus 3.5 versus Memphis. They've been playing really well of late. Bradley Beal's coming off that All-Star game. I think he's going to get a bit of a boost there. And then my second game, I got the Mavs minus 4 versus the Spurs. Mavs are at home. They did have a kind of a disappointing first half, so I think Luke is going to come out guns a-blazing. And those are the only two games on tonight, so I didn't really have much to choose from. Kind of forced into there. We're going right into the fire. But I will take my 10-second chug from last week as a, kind of a warm-up to the shotgun. man, it just does not have very good flavor. I'm going to tell you that much. So we're going to get right into it, and we're going to do this shotgun. Bear with me, guys. It's not going to be pretty. All right, guys, we're back. We had to move above the sink because, you know, I don't want to make a mess. And I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a shotgun expert. I've honestly only done it a few times. Back in college, I was more of a games guy myself. I'd play a lot more games than I would do just sitting and shotgunning beers. But here goes nothing, so promise you can't make fun of me if I screw up, okay? So we're gonna give it our best shot. We got a 16-ounce beer. Haven't done it in a really long time, so we're gonna give it our best shot. All right, guys, here goes nothing. All right, it did spray me in the face, just an FYI. We did it, guys. We took it down. All empty. Peace.